Remember I had mentioned, or I had posted that I reorganized this box? Oh yeah. It's back to this again. We're gonna need this. We're gonna need this. This one as well. Maybe this. 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 And this. And then finally this too as well. We are gonna need this at the end. So disclaimer. This tire, by the looks of it, is already shot. Sidewall's messed up. We do have some minor edge wear. The tread is really low, right at the bare minimum of what a tire should be at before repair. And also, I'm assuming this is the leak right here. It's also at the very edge. You're not supposed to repair a tire past this final tread line, just between these 3 tread lines. And just to make sure it is this one. Yep, there you go. You can see right there, it's clearly the leak. But once again, with my disclaimer, if you do look closely, this sidewall has starting to get eaten up. I don't know if you can see right there, the DOT is from 2020. These tires are starting to get old. And before I start, there was 2 ways I could have gone about this. I could have just positioned the car to where this nail right here was somewhere around here, and I could just work from the floor and work this way. I also could have just taken off the wheel completely, which was exactly what I was about to do. But I'm pretty sure I have enough space right here. I might just go ahead and turn this tire back just a little. Anyway, so I wouldn't go ahead and turn it. That way I can just work from here. That way I can save myself the trouble of removing the wheel completely. If there's no wear on any of the front tires, I just turn the wheel inwards or outwards and work from there, get some space. But like I said, just to avoid having to take the wheel off, I repositioned the wheel so I can have it right here. So realistically, I don't need anything to take the wheel off with. I'm not gonna need this or the torque wrench to retighten the wheel at spec. I'm gonna need is a type of air pump. The plug itself, bonder, this is preference. My kit just comes with it. This is to create the hole with. This is to insert the plug. Right here is gonna be solely out of convenience. Soapy water. Just forget, we're gonna need some sort of pliers. You're gonna wanna start off by getting your pliers and trying to get what caused the hole to begin with. So there is 2 ways to go about this. If you're only using the applicator tool, which we're gonna wanna do is go ahead and grab the applicator and go ahead and basically just clean out the hole. Goal here is just to wind this up just enough to where you can put this one and one of the plugs in inside. But now, out of convenience, I do have a drill and a drill bit. So what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and straight through. And go in, out, and wind out this hole right here. So I can tell this is much more easier than this is right here. But basically go ahead, in and out. This bit right here is a 3/16. I found this to work really well with these plugs right here. I'm trying not to move the drill out like so, just straight in and out. So what you want to do now is get one of the plugs, and you're going to want to feed it through the tool right here. And feed it through up until when it's like halfway. And ideally you want it to look like this. Now you're going to go ahead and get your applicator and basically just dab up the outside of this plug right here. What you want to do now, go ahead and grab your applicator, go ahead and line it up and just ram it through. That took way more force than I remember, but once you get it up until like this distance right here from the tire, you're gonna want to go ahead and quickly just pull it out as quick as you can. And this is honestly a perfect distance. You are gonna cut the excess off later, but I like to let this rest for a second just so it seals up. And the important part here is that you do pull this out in one single motion. That way you can avoid just re-pulling the plug out. Once that's done, I'm gonna let it sit for a minute. I'm gonna clean up everything and then I'll be back to cut this off. I went ahead and cleaned everything up. The only thing I left behind were a set of cutting pliers or the cutting part right here. I kept the soapy water just so I know that the hole did plug up. So what you're gonna want to go and do it now is go ahead and connect whatever device or whatever pump you are using to add air back into the tire. And if you are looking at this tire, it's honestly on its last stretch. But like I said, I just need a quick temporary fix. So roughly 5 minutes later, tire's reading around 40 psi. With my pliers, go ahead and cut it so that it's flush against the tire. I'm gonna go ahead and spray it. Just make sure there's no bubbles coming out. Honestly, it looks like it seals right there. And please get some diagonal cutting pliers. I just couldn't find the other ones. So that does conclude everything. Again, it's real simple. It's only meant to be a temporary fix. Sometimes these plugs do tend to leak even when you do install them perfect. So like I mentioned, that little lump is gonna flatten down as I drive. But with that said, that's gonna conclude everything. I'm gonna just go ahead and clean this up. Hopefully you tuned into this video and it did help for those who do need it. Just tuning in for something informative. Hope you learned something here today. But as always, thank y'all for watching and I'll catch you on the next one.